I gotta go take a shit.
I'm glad we started on that.
There's the note right there.
You said it as soon as I hit record. I gotta go take a shit.
Well, you said make sure everybody's ready.
Shit your pants. It's too late now. You gotta shit your pants.
No, I gotta sit over here.
What's that smell?
We all gotta sit down here. What are you talking? You think it's just gonna confine to that area?
Probably.
It's gonna be over here too. We're all gonna smell it. It's gonna be bad.
I'm jumping out the window.
Be like a mustard.
Actually, no, I have a really bad sense of smell. Ever since COVID, I've not been able to smell things properly. We had rotting flower bulbs in Menards last year, and everyone could smell them. They said they smelled terrible, and there were literally maggots in them whenever they went to go and clean them out. I did not smell a single thing.
Probably because that nose ring's fucking everything up.
It was before I had my nose ring. No, I guess it wasn't because I got my nose pierced right before.
Yeah, that's what it was.
No, because I couldn't smell things properly before that either. The only things I can really smell is food, of course, and really strong chemicals.
And my dad's farts.
I can't smell those, actually. So
That would be a blessing. I should get COVID.
I should get COVID.
Well, I didn't even get sick from COVID. I just lost my sense of smell and my taste for like a week or two, and then I was fine again.
My taste and smell was fucked up for like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, I felt fine after so long, but like my taste and smell was fucked up.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Oh, I had it.
I was
It punched
sick
me right in the face.
shit for.
I don't think I've ever had it because every time I thought I had it and I took a test, it was always negative.
The first time I got COVID, it literally took me out for 3 weeks. I actually had to stay home for a whole week when I found out I actually had it. But the 2 weeks prior, I was just felt like I had the flu.
It sucked.
Real bad.
Yeah,
then
you get body pains.
That last week,
Well, it affects everybody differently.
Right. I had body pains and some other shit, but like, I remember one night I had like 103 temperature.
Yeah.
That was just one night. I just sweating my ass off, but I also felt cold.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the aches and pains started, but I sweated. I woke up drenched in sweat.
Yep.
And then, but the next morning my fever had broke, so I was like,
that's
fine.
the best way to do it. Sweat it out.
The last week is the week that I couldn't really breathe. Like I was having problems breathing.
That was another thing too. My breathing was shitty. I couldn't get. I felt like it was just. Every day I felt like I smoked like 3 packs of cigarettes.
My
That's what
chest,
it felt like.
Yeah, my
and this
chest
was like a few
hurt.
months after I'd quit smoking, so I was feeling better. Like, I can breathe again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I get hit with COVID. I'm like, oh my god, this is worse than smoking.
Yeah.
So it sucked. But
Mhm.
I'm glad it's over with. I'm glad all that shit was over with.
Nah, you still get it.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah,
I'm
but-
just saying, like,
but
I'm
if
glad
you,
the whole.
like, now, if you've
all
got
the
that,
lockdowns.
your body got used to it and it's fighting it, it'll fight it off, and it's more like a cold now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
what
think I
everybody
ever had
doesn't
it.
realize is like if you like, I never got the booster or any of that shit.
I never got none of that shit either.
It's like so, my body just.
I know after we got it, everyone's
fought
like,
it
"Oh,
off.
after you get, you're like immune for like 9 months." Like,
And then they all got
We're
sick.
immune, which means we can do whatever we want. Like,
Yeah, and
who
all the
gives a
ones that
fuck?
got the shot got sick
They
again. It got
got
worse.
immunity.
Yeah, I got immunities. Well, we went like my mom got it shortly after I did,
Yeah.
and she was in the hospital, and they're like, "Oh, you got to put on this suit to go in there." Fuck you! Not putting that fucking suit on. Like I've already had the shit, dude. I'm good. I'm golden, dude. I'm walking around like the fucking like the day walker, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like Blade. Like
I don't need no
sun
fucking
don't affect
mask.
me, but I've got the infection. You know what I mean? Like I'm like the day walking. That is not a good comparison at all.
It's funny that
I'm
that's
way
where your
not-
head
totally
went, though.
not that badass. Not that
Funny
badass.
that that's where your head went, though.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It's like you come in
What
the
can I
next day
compare
to
this
work.
to? A vampire
A
that can walk
vampire
during
that
the
can walk in the
day.
daylight.
Yeah.
Blade, bitch.
Take that mask off. The free. I don't need this shit.
Yep. But
As he pulls the mask up, fuck this.
Mhm. I wore them masks when I absolutely had to. Like you
Yeah.
weren't allowed to go in Menards
Right.
if you were not wearing a mask. Like,
Right.
certain places. So I wore the mask certain places. I fucking hated wearing that mask.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, though. Like, I still see people in their cars by themselves wearing
a
masks.
mask. Who you gonna get it from?
Well, no, here's my thing, is even if you are one of those people that will wear one when you have a cold or whatever, like, even if you were one of those nice people that do that, who are you getting sick in the car?
Yeah. Not to mention, it's actually worse to breathe in those masks all the time because you build up germs and things inside those
Yep.
masks after so long, and then you get yourself sick regardless because you're inhaling germs.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I just don't think it's good to be breathing in your own, like, you know how it gets wet in there?
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to
That's what I'm
breathe
saying.
wet stuff.
That
you know?
inside
Like,
there is like a breeding ground for fucking germs and bacteria. like in mold. I mean, I know you're probably not gonna get mold.
Well,
in there,
here's
but-
my thing. Like, everybody that wore those masks and were, like, uber crazy about them, yeah, they wore them, but then they'd wear them, like, here.
Yeah.
You're not. What's that?
The best mask I ever seen
Fashion
was
statement.
the best mask I ever seen was this guy had a long beard and he just flipped it up
Yeah.
and put it over his face and then put a rubber band around his head.
I love it.
Wore his own beard as a mask. I was like, hey,
It
it's
worked.
his.
That's why
And he cleans it every day.
Everybody's like, I need to grow my shit out.
Yeah. And at the time I had one, I was like, it's almost long enough. I'm like,
he's in there like,
oh, come on, I can
damn
almost
it,
do
come on.
If I
It was like, it
pull
came up to
more,
like
then
here.
maybe it'll
I was
grow.
like, damn. Almost had a good
Well,
one.
then you could be one of the nose people.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah. I just put a plug over my nose and just breathe through my mouth.
Work
I'd
was
get
bad
sick
about it.
of
If they
breathing
caught you
that.
without the mask, or like even below your nose, you'd be written up like instantly.
Wow.
They
Well,
they
I know
fired
why. Oh,
they
yeah.
fired a bunch of people for
They
not
were
wearing the
psychos
mask.
about them fucking masks, man. And we wore masks everywhere we went, and we still got the shit. It didn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
It
I
did
didn't,
not
and
matter.
I didn't get it.
Yeah. Like, we did what you guys
I
told
wore
us to do.
I
We
wore it
still
like when
got
I
it.
had to go to Menards, places that absolutely would
Yeah,
not.
because
let
they
you
would
in.
not let you
Yeah.
in if you did
Yeah.
not wear it. So,
And work.
Whatever.
Yeah, I had to wear one, but they didn't care. Hydro, like I'd be like, and then I'd have it on my ear, and then if somebody walked up, yeah,
Don't breathe on me, bitch.
Yeah.
All right,
Puff that
anyway.
way.
Those are drinks. I stole it.
Welcome back. We are the
Then he
Bonsai
becomes walking up
Movie
and
Crew.
just
Don't forget to
spraying
check out all them socials down there. X, TikTok, what was the other ones?
all of them.
Discord,
Yeah,
all of them.
all of
The
them.
ones
All
are
that
on the
shit.
screen.
You know,
like,
ones.
subscribe. Like, you know, I'm sure that a lot of you who probably watch us don't actually subscribe. You should do that. That would help a lot. Make me feel better. Make Karen feel better. Make Eric feel better. Doesn't matter about Madison. She's leaving in a month or two anyway, so.
It matters. I matter. But I don't care.
Listen to her. I matter. Okay, Drew Barrymore.
Whoa,
No, you wanna
the name
know-
that shall not be spoken.
Every time I hear "I Matter," I hear it in that voice and the tone of the girl from American Horror Story season 1. I don't know why, but it sounded so.
I matter.
It sounded so fucking bratty and ridiculous. And she's like, "I matter," and she even shoved her
talking
foot
about-
down. It's like, yeah, you do, but
Are you
not
talking?
act like that? It doesn't work.
Wait, that was the pregnant girl that said
Yeah.
that, right?
Yes,
like
thank
the
you, so
one that
everybody
he got
remembers.
knocked up.
Yes, everybody.
Yeah.
I matter, lady.
No, you don't.
You chose to have an abortion. Go away nicely.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
need to be here for this. That's
Right.
your choice.
You wanted him to hang out, then maybe you should have kept the baby.
Yeah.
Just
And well, even
saying.
after he decided to keep that, whenever she decided to keep that baby, she died. So,
I thought she had an abortion. I thought that there was a whole abortion scene.
I can't remember if it was him that killed her. I think it was but she
No,
was
he didn't
buried
kill
in
her.
the backyard.
She is, but
Oh
she had
yeah,
the
it was
abortion
that guy
in
with the
Boston.
burnt face that killed her.
Yeah, but she had an abortion in Boston, and then she fucking.
Oh, you're talking about the girl, fuck, what's her name?
No, she didn't.
She's the sister of Rumi.
Of the yeah.
Mara.
Mara, yeah.
Yeah.
it's- She was missing, or fuck. She was Sue Storm, which would have been Invisible Woman in the shitty version of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
Which
Yeah.
one?
but
Huh?
No, she
Which
had an
one?
abortion in Boston,
shittier
and she
one.
followed him.
no, she was gonna have the abortion, but he left halfway through because his wife called him
Oh, that's
because they
right.
got attacked in that house, and
That's
whenever
right.
she went out to go and talk to him, he wasn't there, so she did follow him back, but she never got the actual.
She was in
abortion.
Shooter with Mark Wahlberg.
Well, I mean, you know, he's a married
Yeah.
man, honey. I don't
Mhm.
think you really matter all that much.
Yeah.
Stalker vibes.
Whenever she's getting attacked by a bunch of psychos, and
it doesn't matter because
else.
American
Bye-bye.
Horror Story it wasn't that good after like season 2.
I don't know, I'd say 4 maybe.
A couple of them might have been okay, but like 3 sucked.
I think it's after they did the apocalypse thing, and then it was like it fell off after that.
I like-
Carnival was pretty cool.
That's what I'm
Freak
saying. It's
Show?
like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
maybe?
Freak
I don't
Show.
know.
Freak Show. Freak Show
Freak
was
Show.
really
That's what I'm saying.
good. I love that
3,
one.
3 was Freak Show, right?
No,
Just
3.
two-
No,
I think
3
that
was
was
the
4.
Coven. 3 was Coven.
Yeah, 3 was Coven because 2 was Asylum.
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
was
that's what I'm
Silent.
saying. 2 was Asylum. I loved
3
Asylum.
was
and then
Coven.
3
4 might have been Freak Show.
Okay.
Or is it the other way around?
Whenever they went back and had that kid come back, and then it was like the apocalypse and the end of the world. Like after that, to me, it was like
I
okay,
never
we're
got
done. Like
past-
you went full circle now,
Mm-hmm.
and we're done.
I think
Well,
the
I-
reason why I
So
So
hated
the kid was Damien.
Yeah,
I think the reason why I didn't like American Horror Story that much was because there's just so much going on in the story that like, and then none of it, like a lot of it doesn't even intersect with each other. I'm like, the story plots are everywhere, and there's so many random things that happen in the show. I'm like, it confused me.
I liked one
guess.
Asylum Freak show. Coven was okay.
It just felt like somebody with ADHD wrote the story.
As it went on, yeah. I think that they're coherent up to. I mean, Apocalypse was really
I didn't
crazy.
really
It was
like
everywhere.
Hotel. That's because I haven't watched past Hotel. I watched Hotel and I didn't like it, and I didn't continue watching.
I didn't.
It
I watched
Hotel
a
was
couple.
pretty weak.
I watched a couple episodes of that when I saw Lady Gaga was a vampire. I'm like, nah.
Oh no, I like Lady Gaga as an actress.
I didn't. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I just couldn't get
Dad
into
doesn't
it.
like her because she thinks she looks like an alien.
doesn't-
She thinks she looks like.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't think. I don't dislike Lady Gaga. I think she's actually potentially a great actress,
Yeah, I think so.
and she's a great musician, obviously, because she's got countless. Actually,
Wait,
just
was
heard
it
that.
Taylor Swift?
I fucking hate Taylor Swift. I
that
cannot
was the
stand
one.
Taylor
I
Swift.
knew it was a blonde.
But like
It's hard-
I
it's
don't
hard to
mind
like
Lady
her, though,
Gaga.
honestly.
Do I think she looks a
I
little
know.
weird? Yeah, she does a little
like
bit.
an alien.
Yeah, a little
Which
bit.
is crazy because people tell me all the time that Ada looks like Taylor Swift. Whenever Taylor Swift had her black wig on, that's what people tell
Taylor
me
Swift
Ada
is a
looks like.
fuckface. That woman is just.
She's not.
She's
she
the-
doesn't make it easy to like her at all.
No, she's the biggest fucking sellout. In my opinion, she might be one of the biggest sellouts in music history. Biggest sellout. She sold
I don't
out.
like Taylor
She went
Swift.
from singing country to singing pop music because she was being rebranded.
You
Essentially.
ever heard her voice without the music?
No,
Mm-mm.
It's awful.
I was gonna say I don't think I want to know.
It's awful.
really. But then she goes and gets this Travis Kelce, which I'm surprised they're even still together. And then on top of that, she's like a sellout whenever it comes to like that whole thing with like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian and all that. And it was just, she just comes off as a terrible person. Like somebody who's like out to only please and make money rather than actually make good music. Because let's face it, she probably hasn't written any of her own music.
The thing that kills me is like, who's still dating her? Like, isn't everyone like in their circle like?
No, she just writes songs about her
No, thanks.
ex-boyfriends.
I don't need my dirty laundry air. Thank
That's
you
what
very
I'm
much.
saying. Like she makes so many songs about her still loving people, even though she's not with them anymore. Why would that guy go and get with her? Or
Because it
anyone?
was smart on his part. He's a
Yeah,
smart motherfucker
but-
because he knew that his football career could not carry him forever, but marrying Taylor Swift will.
But see, doesn't that give you the impression? You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb a little bit here. Doesn't that give you the impression of like, you know, the jokes that they used to make about Tom Cruise and his like wives and stuff? They'd be like, "Oh yeah, Scientology set him up," or "Oh yeah," like, don't you think there's managers that are like, "Oh, if you date this person, it's gonna help your
Yeah.
career. Let's see if they're available."
It makes you wonder a little
Hey,
bit.
is Taylor available? Because my dude's
Yeah, my
career's
my
fledgling a little bit.
linebacker here needs, or wherever
You know what
his
I'm
wide
saying?
receiver. I don't know what he is.
Because it just seems like in some of these other ones that like they don't match. There's no reason.
it makes
for
you
them to
wonder
be
how the hell
together.
did they meet each other? Like,
Well,
Right.
her and Tim Hiddleston. I can never remember how his is. It Tim or Tom or is it
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom
That guy.
Hiddleston?
They dated for like 10 minutes.
Who?
Him and Taylor Swift.
They
And it's
did?
like, yeah, exactly. They
That's
don't
a-
match,
Yeah.
Not at all.
No.
I actually like Tom Hiddleston.
right?
I don't like her.
Look it up. They dated for like 3 seconds.
It's weird.
So it just makes you wonder, like, are we setting people up for their careers, or are
Right.
you guys actually meeting like organically? I don't think
I
it's
just
that.
don't like her.
No.
I don't know. She's not on like Drew Barrymore's. Nah, I don't know. She might.
Tom
go through with her.
Hiddleston. She dated him?
Yes.
Loki?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's why I said they don't
It's
match.
disgusting.
That is
I'm
weird.
sorry, I should've
feel
said
like he could do
Loki.
much better.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway, let's move on.
Wow.
To your profile, baby.
Yeah.
I already told
She's
you.
easy
I'll
to
read
get over
this.
to,
You
like,
read the
I
movie,
wanna
but we have to
read
get
this.
through them fast because they're
Take it
both
away.
they're both slightly long, so
You're
we need
taking
to
up
stay
time
on track.
right now.
Shut the fuck up.
Mi scusi.
Today's the day. I say that every
We, I was gonna
Every
say, we
time.
say that every day.
Yeah.
It's like a catchphrase in our house.
Today's the day.
I'm sure we all know who we're doing.
We don't. I do. You guys don't.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I
It's
saw
gotta be
what was
Casey
making
Jones,
dinner.
right?
No.
Oh, damn.
I already said who I was going to do for the third one, like a long time ago.
I wasn't paying attention then. Sorry.
Corey Feldman.
Oh, yeah.
He voices Donatello.
Mm-hmm.
Did they change
Again.
up the voice actors?
Yeah, so Corey Feldman did the voice of Donatello in the first movie, and then he got on drugs. They're like,
But
we're
he was
not
in
bringing
rehab when they were making it.
Yeah, he was in rehab. So they're like,
Apparently.
yeah, we can't have him. So they found somebody else to do Donatello well. Then they brought him back for the third
But
movie.
there was some bad blood, remember? Because we talked about it in trivia too. Like in the first one, they only paid him $1,500 and nothing for commercialization.
Yeah.
And because they told him it was going to flop, and then when it didn't, he was like, "Hey guys, how about a little something for the effort?" And they were like, "Nah."
But that's what happens whenever you're a child actor in Hollywood. He's just been run up.
He
and
should
down.
have left Hollywood. Is what he
Yeah.
should have done.
Yeah, for real.
He should have got out of there.
Him and the other Corey both.
Yeah, they should have
Corey.
got out, got sober, and I don't know. At
Worked
this
anywhere
point,
but in Hollywood.
they could have worked. They could have kept continuously working at their age. I mean, Corey Feldman alone, dude, he's got like 80 credits to his name to date. 80 movie credits. Like back in the 80s and early 90s, I'm sure he could have picked his own projects.
Mhm.
He's done everything from horror to comedy to drama.
And I'm
Everything.
saying, like, I know that there's got to be an addictive element to this stuff. There has to be, or else when their careers start fledgling, how come there isn't so many of them that do like what Vanilla Ice did and said, "Oh, I got to think of something else to do here, and I'll do this occasionally, like when I'm asked to, but like this isn't my career anymore."
Take the money and run.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some
I don't know.
people just.
All right, I'm going to try to get
built
through
like
this as
that.
quickly as possible because there's quite a bit here, actually. I couldn't find a small biography on him because, let's face it, he's been doing it for almost 50 years. So,
Well, at least I don't have to look at his IMDb.
yeah. Corey Scott Feldman began his career at the age of 3, starring in Clio Award-winning McDonald's commercial. Okay. He has sustained a career for nearly 50 years as a steadily working actor with more than 80 films under his belt. Corey began his career in guest starring roles on television series such as Mork and Mindy in 1978, Alice in 1976, and 8 is Enough in 1977, before landing a regular part on the debut in Time After Time in 1979. Over the next few years, Feldman continued making guest appearances in many television shows, and in 1981, Feldman supplied the voice of young Cooper in Disney's The Fox and the Hound.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
He did?
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah,
that
he was
movie.
Baby Cooper.
I haven't seen
Or
that
Baby
movie.
Copper.
I haven't seen
He
that
was? Really?
Mhm.
I'd have to go back and
I
rewatch
haven't
that.
seen
That's
that
crazy.
movie in a very long time.
He must have been really young before his voice really started to develop then. Feldman, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I already read that. Friday the 13th, for the final chapter, 1984, launched Feldman's career in the horror genre with the role of the main character Tommy Jarvis as a child. He reprised the role in Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. In 1985, Feldman then began a series of appearances in blockbuster films such as Gremlins 1984, The Goonies 1985, and Stand By Me in 1986, which right there launched his fucking career.
Fuck yeah, it did.
And Goonies was the number one.
Yeah. In 1987, Feldman won the Jackie Coogan Award for Stand By Me in 1986 and appeared in the legendary cult film The Lost Boys in 1987 alongside Jason Patric and Kiefer Sutherland. In 1988, he won the Young Artist Award for Best Young Actor in a Horror Motion Picture for his appearance in The Lost Boys in 1987. 1989, Feldman appeared in The Burbs, which is a fantastic
Oh, I
fucking movie.
love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher, and also provided the voice of Donatello for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1990, which holds the biggest box office for an independent feature in history, and also marked his 13th number one box office hit in a row. You should have been. I don't know who your manager was or who your PR team was, dude, but you were getting fucked.
Yep. Well, it was his parents.
His
I
parents,
believe,
probably,
parents.
yeah.
to begin with, and then when he moved on from his parents was when things started to kind of go downhill. I
Right.
believe. I don't quote me on that. I don't.
1989, Feldman appeared in The Burbs. Oh wait, sorry, I already read that. Feldman then took time off to focus on his personal life and returned to the film world with appearances in Loaded Weapon 1, Maverick 1984, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 in 1993. He was a regular on the CBS series Dweebs in 1995, followed by a starring role in the Richard Donner, Robert Zemeckis, and Joel Silver's produced Bordello of Blood for Universal, which is in our box, isn't it?
Should be.
I think it is, because we already did Demon Knight.
Mm-hmm.
In 1996, Feldman directed his
That might
first
have been
film,
before we were doing that, though.
Busted.
But
I'm tired of this hold down.
Honed up bullshit. Fucking.
Nope, it's not in there.
Oh, it's not?
That was probably before we started doing.
All right.
This
In
cowboy
2002,
shit.
Feldman appeared in the comedy Dickie Roberts, former child star, in 2003, for which he wrote and performed a song for the soundtrack, shortly followed by an opportunity to work with Wes Craven on Cursed. He did? What the fuck did he do on Cursed?
That's what I was going to ask.
That's weird. Okay. We might have to look that up. I'm kind of interested in that.
I got you.
In 2004, he was honored with a former Child Star Lifetime Achievement Award. 2006 found him receiving the Best Actor Award at the Luxembourg Film Festival for his performance in The Birthday in 2004. A film that he feels to be his honest work to date, or his finest work to date. The Igor Awards honored Feldman with an award for legendary work in horror films in 2007. The hit show, The Two Coreys, not only starred Feldman, but also executive produced 2 seasons, as well as Lost Boys The Tribe. He starred in Terror Inside in 2008, for which he won the Crystal Reel Best Actor Award. And Feldman executive produced and starred in Lost Boys The Thirst in 2010, which other work this decade includes Operation Belvis Bash and Lucky Fritz, plus Henry Juglomes, the M Word, I don't know what that means, The Mind Behind Performance, and the Zero Dark 30, or Dirty, Zero Dark Dirty, as comedian.
That
sounds like a porn.
It does.
Samuel Stone.
Probably is one.
Might be. And his most recent theatrical release, 2019's Corbin Nash, in which Feldman takes his biggest departure yet as the transvestite vampire Queenie. Okay. Oh boy.
He's just taking every fucking role that comes his way, huh?
Right.
He must have been crew because he's not on cast.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't in the cast.
Well, there was some in there, like Lance Bass. I don't remember him in that.
Yeah,
but he was playing himself.
He was at the. I do remember Lance Bass being in it. Now a three-time divorced father, author, children and women's rights activist. Animal rights activist and environmentalist, Feldman is focused on his career as an adult. Nurturing and growing music career with 10 full albums and 7 soundtracks. He has toured North America twice and his band The Truth Moment, and more than 15 times as a solo artist. His most recent tour, entitled Love Retours, lasted over 2 years with 5 legs across America in support of his latest solo project, a box set entitled Love Left 2.1, which featured 4 CDs, including a brand new album. Love Left 2, Arm Me With Love. The newest album features 2 Billboard Top 40 songs, including You Are Free, which made it to number 26 and was also the closing credit song for his self-produced documentary, The Truth. His song With You debuted at number 26 and climbed to number 19, marking Corey's first Billboard Top 20 hit. I'm surprised by that because he is not a good musical artist. I'm just saying. I do not like his music.
We have heard
Like
his
the
music
only thing-
on this podcast before, and it was not good.
I'm gonna say the only thing I think I ever heard was what you played that one time.
Yeah. Anyway,
there's a audience for pretty much anything out there.
yeah,
So.
shit. In 2013, Corey Feldman wrote a New York Times best-selling autobiography that was met with incredible reviews. Off-screen, Feldman is a spokesperson for PETA, if anybody doesn't know, it's People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
People eating tasty animals.
The world's largest animal rights organization, and the Amy Karen Cancer Fund. Amy?
Karen?
The Amy Karen Cancer Fund. You got cancer, Karen?
I might. I haven't been checked.
Well, time to get that finger up your butt.
I don't have a prostate.
How do you know?
I'm not a dude.
So?
Do you just grow a prostate?
Well, these days.
That's only if I choose it.
Oh. If you choose it, you just grow one?
Yeah.
You grow a prostate. Like, I'm a dude now.
Just
prostate.
like if you choose to be a woman, you'll get a uterus.
Oh, okay.
Magically, no money and no money needed.
See?
No, just magically appears.
Yeah, because, men can have babies now. They can
Okay.
Can they
have
really?
periods, and no, they think they can.
Oh,
Yeah, you never seen that? Oh, that pisses me off.
you had me fooled.
I
for
have a
second.
period too. Ow!
Or do they
I
put
get
on the-
They
They put on the period
That
simulator
means you gotta
once
poop.
a month.
Huh?
They put on that period simulator once a month.
I don't fucking know what they do.
All right.
Never heard people.
Corey is
argue about
also the
having a
national
period.
ambassador for Child USA, a nonprofit designed to fight the statute of limitations preventing children who were sexually abused from obtaining justice. Okay. Corey helped change laws in the state of New York in 2018 and California in 2019, giving victims a chance for justice by opening look-back windows for civil cases in those states. Corey also self-produced the self-financed and documentary about the abuse he and his best friend endured as children called My Truth, The Rape of Two Coreys. That's fucking one thing to call it, I guess. This year has already been extremely exciting as Corey has been all over the place, starting with his appearance on Fox TV's Masked Singer, and now with the release of his latest single and video directed by legendary Fred Durst. Okay. Next, Corey is getting ready to embark on yet another 24-city arena tour as the opener for Limp Bizkit, which he's actually already done. That just ended, I believe.
I remember you talking about it when we listened to the music. And stuff.
Later this year, Corey finally will return to the big screen with his 20-year-old film, which was never released in the U.S. The film was called The Birthday, directed by Spanish filmmaker Eugenio Mira. I don't know. The Birthday was hailed by Jordan Peele as a cinematic masterpiece. Well, Jordan Peele likes it. We all gotta like it. All right.
Maybe.
Did you find anything out? Nothing?
No, on his filmography, I can't even see. I'm after 2022.
Maybe he's
like,
uncredited.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but I'd like to know what he did. Like, what
Right.
did he do?
Yeah. They made it sound like he collaborated with music somehow. So
That's what I was thinking too. But you'd think they would have credited him
yeah.
somehow for it.
All right. So, favorite Corey Feldman movie or whatever?
Lost Boys.
Goonies.
Lost Boys, Goonies.
Comes down to 3 for me. I can't get rid of either one because they're all really fucking good. The Goonies, The Burbs, and License to Drive.
Nice.
License to Drive is good too, but I think his acting in Lost Boys is.
I like him in Lost Boys. I like him in The Burbs. He's not in The Burbs enough
That's
to
where
care.
I'm at.
Still a great movie though.
It's still a great, fucking fantastic movie.
Oh, I
It's
don't
great.
disagree. It's one of my favorite.
It's not as good
movies.
as The Money Pit, but because if you're gonna whenever you go Tom
I don't know.
Hanks-
I like.
I
the
just
Money-
like how he's
I
making
the
fun
Money
of
Pit
all
just
the
a
neighbors.
Scotch less than the Burbs. The Burbs
Really?
is fucking hilarious. Too.
Oh man, The Money Pit's hilarious.
When he
Oh.
when him and his when he fucking goes into that ambulance at the end, he
Yeah.
fucking throws it. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's like, take me to the hospital. I've been blown up. That every time. every fucking time.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, but the money pit when he's drawing that bath and the tub goes through.
Just
That,
goes through.
that's
Yeah, no,
fucking
Or the part where he
It
sinks
is,
in the
but-
hole in
Yeah.
the rug.
or just the pissing,
He's got like
pissing
the
and
T-Rex
Yeah.
arms.
the pissing into the little statue that's pissing in the waterfall.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
and he has to smack the butt
yeah,
to get it going.
going.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like, the Money Pit's hilarious, but it's not funnier than The Burbs, in my opinion. I think it's that sort of, like, horror element in The Burbs.
Yeah,
always
yeah,
gets
that adds
it
to
adds to it, you know?
it. Yeah.
Like, I love when they go into the house. There's my two favorite parts. When he goes in the house, and he holds up that frame, and he's like, nice looking girl. She yours? You know, trying to, like... and he's like, it came with the frame. He puts it down. And then the second one is when they're trying to figure out what to write to Walter about the dog. And they're like, we have... And he takes the paper away. He's like, give me. And you don't know what he wrote. And then later on, the dogs are like... Or the police are like reading off all of his charges. And at the very end, they're like, this poor guy's got a note that says, you have his dog.
I don't know. I think for me, it's hard to choose me because the Goonies, Lost Boys, the Burbs, but I don't really count that one because he's not in it enough. Then you've got like some of his other solo projects. So then there's Stand By Me.
Yeah,
Which is
great
a really
movie.
good movie, and he does an amazing acting job in that movie. But The Lost Boys is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And his acting in it, I'm going to choose that because of that. Now, if it were just on acting merit alone, it'd Stand By Me all day.
Now I'm gonna go Lost Boys all day as my favorite because
How
it's
much you
not
think
just
we should
because of
charge him
him,
for this?
because the movie itself is amazing, but
Yeah.
also he's like one of the best parts of the movie. So
I love it at the end when he's like, how much you think we should charge him for
Yeah.
this? And they didn't
I
even
love
do anything.
the Frog Brothers,
The
are
Frog Brothers
amazing.
are amazing.
Like, I love those guys.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So I'm gonna go Lost Boys. I think, yeah. Even though I do love the Goonies, like
Oh, I do too.
It's a
I'm
classic, but Mouth is a great character. He's one of the best characters in that movie. But
Mhm.
but dude, like it's
He was
Lost
always
Boys.
my favorite character when I was a kid.
Well, yeah. Everybody wanted to be Mouth.
Yeah,
I did turn into him a little
a
bit.
little bit. All right.
That's why I nicknamed Carson Mouth.
All right, moving on.
Let's talk about the movie.
It's a little slow today.
Like,
A little fucked up.
all right. This week we watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thrice.
Say
watch
it
it once,
thrice.
watch
You
it three
must say it
times.
thrice.
I only
Thrice.
watched it once.
No, it's the thrice one.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Karen, you got a plot synopsis?
The four turtles travel back in time to the days of the legendary and deadly samurai in ancient Japan, where they train to perfect the art of becoming one. The turtles also assist a small village in an uprising. That's hilarious to me. They're like, where they train to be to perfect the art of becoming one and a samurai. But then, they also assist in an uprising.
Not really.
No, I mean, like, isn't that like mostly what they're supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
And then on the side, they learn a little bit of samurai. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The only thing they learn samurai is how to ride a horse.
that's what I'm saying.
And they didn't even really
Mine
learn that
doesn't even
that
have
well.
a head.
Fucking Michelangelo was writing it backwards.
That's what he said. Mine doesn't even have a head. That was pretty funny. But no, I mean, like, this description's fucking ridiculous.
How do you steer this thing?
Rated per PG-13 or PG 1 hour and 36 minutes. That's what I
No,
was
this
trying
movie
to
would
say.
have been better if it was PG-13.
Yeah, and all those people voiced people in.
My horse doesn't even have a damn head. That's what he would have said.
Yeah, that. Where's the fucking head on this thing?
Where's the fucking head on this thing?
That would have been hilarious.
The only F-bomb they get. in the
Yeah,
whole
you
movie.
get one F-bomb, so this fucking horse doesn't even have a head.
Where's the fucking head on this thing? All right, anyway, would you watch, would you recommend Madison?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not very
Yeah.
confident. She's like, yeah, I guess.
I suppose.
I would say you don't have to watch it. You can if you want. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a good movie
I like
either.
how he's like talking. You can.
I don't know. If you're gonna watch, if you're like, I need to watch the 3 originals, like you need to watch this one. Doesn't really tie in that much to the previous 2, other than Casey Jones and April, but that's it. I mean, that's literally it. Like nothing about this movie has anything to do with the other two. You could actually watch this movie without watching the other two. There's nothing that really ties them together because they don't mention anything from the previous movies. They don't even mention Shredder one time. Not once.
Not while they're gone, no.
No, the whole time. And don't get me wrong, I like the change. We'll get there. But yeah, I would kind of recommend it, I guess. It's not the best, but it's definitely not terrible.
I mean,
As Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
I'll go your guys' route. Like, if you're a fan of the series, you should watch it, but I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
What about you, Eric?
Yes and yes.
Yes.
It's probably my third time watching this movie in all honesty.
Oh, I've
Probably
seen
'cause I
it
made you
a
watch
bunch
it.
of times, but
Mhm.
yeah. All right. Well, Madison's going to read this. We're going to try to get through this quickly because we're all right. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you with the confidence.
Alright, the movie opens with a man fighting off a bunch of other men in feudal Japan. In the present day, Raphael is complaining the turtles aren't appreciated because no one sees what they do. April, who is shopping in preparation for a trip, bought each of the turtles a gift. Michelangelo was given a colorful lampshade, Donatello an old radio.
Why would you bring him a lampshade? Like, oh, he'll love this. Like, for
He
what
does,
reason?
though.
No,
He
he
did love
doesn't.
it.
He's like, eh?
And they put it on his
but
head.
He figured out what to do with it.
Yeah, put it on his head.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she thought whenever she bought it, too.
Yeah, she
She'll
knew
figure
what
it
she was
out.
getting into. She knew
It's
exactly.
colorful. That's all
She
it
knew
needs to be.
exactly where this was
Just
going.
needs to be
Michelangelo-
colorful.
I'll tell you, the
Michelangelo
turtles
has the most imagination out of all of them. So
The
he
turtles
can,
in
he
this
can turn a
movie
lampshade into anything.
were surprisingly not surprisingly, I guess, but they were literally the best part. Like, they were fucking funny, and like
They were the best part.
yeah. But it's like you got to be surrounded by good too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, yeah, because I guess in the previous two, they were still funny. They were quippy, but not as quippy and funny as they are in this one.
right?
That's
Especially
why.
when they
That's
have-
why I
especially
love
the
this
beginning of
movie.
it.
Yeah.
It kind of falls off towards the end. We'll get there, but I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I
they
don't
are
know, man.
literally-
I kind of feel like they
Hey,
kind of
look,
stay
Don
on
King.
I
It.
just yeah. I
Look,
mean,
Don King.
yeah. I mean, yeah, but it wasn't like as like back to back to back. Like, I was laughing
Yeah,
the whole front end of that movie.
yeah.
Pretty much like the whole time, and then it just kind of like gets towards the end of the movie, and I'm like, okay, like,
They had
there's
to
some
add a
funny.
little bit of seriousness to it here and there.
Did they though?
Mhm.
Well, the kid and all that. It was worth it.
Leonardo, a book on historical swords, and Raphael, a cowboy hat. Raphael left before he could receive his gift, however. Splinter was given an ancient Japanese scepter by April. The scepter, Donatello, and Leonardo. Is this sectioned off?
Hmm?
I'm pretty sure this is sectioned off. In ancient Japan, the man seen earlier, Kenshin, was...
Yeah, I think it's like... Yeah, I thought about erasing those because I thought they were dumb, but...
Well, they're not bold, so they like... throw
Right,
me
yeah,
off.
I know. Yeah.
In ancient Japan, the man seen earlier, Kenshin, was being reprimanded for disgracing his father, Daimyo
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norinaga.
Yeah.
Okay. He leaves his father, goes to a temple, and drives out its priests. There, he finds a scepter and reads its inscription, "Open wide the gates of time." Before he leaves, an English weapon trader named Walker is introduced, as well as his thug, Niles. In the present, April is looking at the scepter. It's begun to light up and spin. Grammar is wrong. She and Kenshin switch positions in time and space. April is immediately kidnapped and imprisoned by Lord Norinaga. In the present, the turtles befriend Kenshin. They call Casey Jones over to watch the lair while they're gone. When they head back in time, they are replaced by 4 honor guards instead of 4 priests, as they intended.
I like that. Michelangelo's like putting on the
Yeah, they're like, why are you wearing
shorts. They're like, why are you
He's
putting
like,
on shorts? Like, well, the guy's going to come through time and he's going to be butt naked. So he's like, I got 3 more pair.
But you know what? That doesn't make any sense though. Like,
It doesn't. Because
They
why?
back themselves into so many corners plot wise
Yeah, I
in
know.
this movie. Like, so first of all, why did they come through naked, but he got April's clothes?
Yeah. Also, well, they swap clothes.
Yeah, they swap clothes when they
Yeah,
come.
but why didn't they swap clothes? Like, why didn't, like, he get like I don't know
The mask.
Yeah, like their weapons.
I thought
went
that
with
too.
them.
Like their weapons.
The weapons, like all that stuff went with them.
Yeah, and then also like they came through and they were still wearing their under
stuff.
Yeah.
So why are we?
And then also April went back in time and she still had her Walkman.
Right. That's exactly that's what I'm saying. So like some things go through.
Maybe
no
it's just
rhyme or
their
reason
clothes
for it, and then they come up later, and Donatello's like, "Oh, you have to be the same weight."
Yeah.
So you're
equal
telling me
mass displacement.
all 4 of those guards were the exact weight that they needed. And how do they know when to touch it? Like, is there like a time phone?
That's what they said. They're like, it's equal mass displacement.
They said
like, hold on. So how they all like? How does it work? Because time.
So the reason why they said that so
it's every 12
hours, every at noon, at midnight, keep your eye on the scepter because we will try to.
But doesn't make any sense.
But it doesn't make any sense because the one guy kept trying. He kept being like, "Oh, I'm doing it. Fuck him."
Well, I don't understand because so if that's the case, how does that work within time though? Because like the time that they're in the feudal Japan,
got no clocks
there's no clock back then. Like how does that? No, I just don't understand how that works because time is time. Like that already happened, so it doesn't matter when I hold the scepter. All right. Discussing
when the moon's the highest.
They backed themselves into this corner. We didn't put them into it.
When the moon is the highest.
If they had not said that they had to be the same weight, and if they had not said that, you come through with nothing or whatever, like these people come through naked, but these people don't, and they backed themselves into those plot holes. Not me. And it's enough to make you go.
Right.
Question.
Yeah. There's quite a few plot holes in this movie. And I'm like,
What were you saying though?
Well,
you said something right before I said that.
I said the moon has to be the highest and the sun has to be the highest. That's how you know it's noon or midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like their moon and they're all going to be in different positions. They're not going to be at the same time because Japan, America.
Yeah.
12-hour difference.
Yeah, so like they're going to be at the moon when they're at the sun.
12 and 12.
I understand that, but it doesn't make any sense.
12 midnight there is 12 noon here.
I don't want to discuss the time travel aspects of it because let's face it, there's a lot of them in movies and there's a lot of like arguments to be made whenever it comes to time travel in general.
I'm just saying if they had just removed the weight displacement thing.
Yeah,
I could just walk away.
I think that was their excuse for getting 4 people and 4 people, blah blah blah.
But that makes it harder.
I know, but also
because even if let's say this person's 120 pounds and this person's 120 pounds.
Right.
You put them on 2 scales, they're still not going to be 120 and 120. This one's 120.2, this one's 120.6.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not an exact science, Karen.
I feel like time travel would be an exact science.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So my thing with it though is
putting too much.
Why did they get to take their swords and bandanas and all that stuff with them?
Like, maybe that's like their katana plus their weight plus his sword and his.
That's the equal mass.
Is the equal mass.
But the dudes came through and they didn't have their weapons at first.
Yeah, they did. They had their katanas.
They had their swords. Yeah.
But why would they have their swords if they're on over the clothes? And
I don't know.
They were holding it.
I have no idea.
Not to mention, whenever those 4 guys were riding on horseback, before they switched over.
Why was the one on it backwards?
Not just that.
Maybe he was trying to do some tricks.
Why was he on the fucking horse backwards? He is a very dumb fucking
Not just
samurai.
that, but all 4 of them weren't touching the scepter.
Yeah, that's another thing that I was going to bring up. Thank you.
They were holding hands.
They're all holding it like this, right? No, I want to hold it. No, I want to hold it.
But they were.
On horses.
Yeah. It doesn't make it. You're right. It doesn't make like how are they all holding it at the same time on horseback?
And before anybody throws out there, we're thinking too hard about this. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah,
just saying.
Right.
You're thinking too much into it, Karen.
Like they should have literally just appeared like everybody holding the scepter.
Hey, and I'm the first one. Like when it comes to like movies that I loved when I was
maybe
a kid,
if you're holding like if you had a hold of somebody's hand or something that's holding the scepter, you probably go with them.
Yeah, but why would they be holding? Come on, guys.
Yeah, all 4 of them on horseback.
They're guards.
Their pinky
they're
toes
manly
were
men.
touching.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you?
Karen.
Hi, Charles. How are you?
That's all hold hand, guys.
Karen.
Let's march into war together.
Their toes were touching.
Oh.
Yeah. Because we're all on horses riding so close.
What if the horses' tails were touching each other? You know what I mean?
Well,
like, what if that?
What if?
That means
and then
they're
it just traveled
technically-
through the horses to them.
Yeah.
Well, that's impossible
You have to be
because
human.
whenever at the end, whenever he tried to reach for April's hand, he was like that close and just barely missed her hand and wasn't able to go through.
So, like, but what I'm saying is that, like, do you have to be human? Could we have sent the horses? Could the horses have gone through if it didn't go just
Equal
right?
mass displacement.
Right. So if you have a horse on one end and a horse on the other end, can you swap them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Or a horse for
one
two
horse
turtles.
comes out with 2 asses, and the other horse comes out with 2 heads.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Jeez. Yeah. Put that in your noggin and rattle it around.
Okay.
Oh, I have to tell you, your son decided to watch this movie with me for a little bit.
Mhm.
Here's my favorite Theo quote. Wait, are those costumes? Yes, Theo. Well, then how do they know how to do ninja stuff? Well, there's ninjas that are wearing the costumes. Oh, I love that kid. I love him so very much. He was cracking. He was funny to me, just as funny as the Turtles. Watching that movie with him.
Yeah, he says a
Oh.
lot of things that I sit there and just.
He's very literal, and it just kills me.
There's ninjas inside the costumes.
we
Oh,
watched the movie
duh.
for probably 20 minutes, and he was like, "Wait, are those costumes?" Yes, Theo.
Did he think that they were real Ninja Turtles or?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Probably. He has
saw
a very,
some of the
very
foam
vivid
fold and he
imagination.
He
was
does. He
Right.
has a very vivid imagination, and everything is very literal.
That's
Yeah.
how Gavin used to be.
He still is kind of.
A lot.
Yeah, very literal.
Mm-hmm.
Takes everything.
Like he can get sarcasm, but it's usually like the second or third time you say it. He's very literal.
That's how Gavin is too. At least is how he used to be. I think he just fakes it now.
I think he does too. Yeah. All right, keep going.
When the turtles arrive in Japan, they arrive on horses. Michelangelo can't ride and falls off the horse. Outlaws kidnap him and steal the scepter. The others decide to rescue April first. People mistake them for honor guards, but they are imprisoned after following Walker's thug. After a sloppy rescue involving
Lily.
a man named Wit, who April thinks is Casey's ancestor, they haven't a clue what to
Thanks.
do. Oh, he definitely is.
He would have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
That was their
Literally
way of getting
doppelganger.
Casey in the past. That's all that was.
Yeah.
Well, he got first billing, so he couldn't just have 10 minutes.
Yeah,
of
you
screen
could just
time.
have 10 minutes of screen time. They're like, yeah, we got to have him in this movie. Which
We're gonna make him earn the first billing.
I don't think that he even really played much of a role, and his character was kind of retarded.
Well,
Mhm.
now Jeremiah said the same thing, but I'm gonna say this: without him, the past stuff doesn't go down right. In the future, maybe they didn't need him, but in the past, they definitely did. Because without him, she doesn't get kidnapped.
Right.
Because they're not going to let anybody into that. He's the perfect person to do that kidnapping, too. Because they trust the turtles, and he came in with them because they trust him because he looks like somebody that they can trust. He's the perfect one. He's in there not because they allowed him, but because the turtles trust him. Right? So he's the perfect person for the villagers to trust, but also when he betrays them, it also makes sense. I will say this, that's my biggest problem with this movie is there's so many things that happen or, whatever, and makes sense, and you can tell you've got like some kind of mind behind it, and then you got other things that happen, you're like, why though? Like, did we edit this weird? Did you cut stuff out? Like,
Right.
anyway, no, I didn't have any problem with him
Well,
or his character.
I think that I think they should have just taken the actual Casey Jones back in time with him,
Me too.
I agree.
because I think he would have definitely would have added to like the comedic element.
Oh, yeah.
They probably would have if it weren't for the violent element because, it was still a thing. They still didn't want a lot of violence. That's why they didn't have him in the second one.
Oh, yeah, there was hardly any fighting in this one.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the whole point, but they couldn't really tell you Casey Jones wasn't going to fight.
Right.
So I guess that was
Yeah.
their way of keeping him in it because that was a complaint from the second one. And then, okay, so we hear your complaints, bring Casey Jones back, but how do we bring Casey Jones back and still make it family friendly?
Right. I don't know. Stop listening to people and
Yeah.
just do what you want to do.
Listen to
'Cause
the grown-ups.
I think that Casey Jones
With
in
no
the past would have been awesome
I agree.
because he would have fumbled around more than any of them.
Mhm.
He would have been the one tripping over his own feet.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
100%. It would have been nice to see him out of his element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then especially with him and April in the past, You know, and it would give us more of a connection between the, you know, who would be playing the new April essentially because Casey wasn't in the second one,
Right.
Mhm.
and it would bring them together a little more. All you see is like literally like one small snippet of a scene with them two together laughing
Mhm.
at the end, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I think that would have helped, and I think that would have actually been a lot better than just this thief guy or whatever he is.
Yeah.
The
Bandit. Not even. He's not. a
Whatever his
bandit.
name
He's
is.
just
Walker?
a crook.
No, not Walker. I'm talking about the Casey
Oh.
Jones ass guy or whatever.
I forgot.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
In the present, Kenshin is getting worried if they don't switch places again in 60 hours, they won't be able to get home. To take Kenshin's mind off his troubles, Casey introduces the group to ice hockey. In Japan, hold on,
Hockey.
I had to fix the grammar.
Akio.
I like when they just start fighting. He's
Yeah.
like, you know, hockey, like, and then they just
Like
start
what you
fighting.
saw on TV. Oh, Akio.
Akio,
Akio.
He's like, well, that's close enough.
Like, yeah, all right.
Was he saying hack you?
They're like, no, like Hakio. Hakio.
Hockey. Oh, hockey.
Hakio.
Oh, it sounds like hack you. Like,
Right? Okay.
So I just have a question though about because I may or may not have missed something. So when Walker shows up and he starts talking to Daimyo and he's saying like, you know, I'll have this war won for you, blah 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 blah, right? And then when April gets there, all of a sudden everybody forgot how to understand English, except for Walker.
So I think that before she gets, I think that it's supposed to be all translation. So I think that like whenever you're in feudal Japan before any of them come there and blah blah blah, I think it's supposed to be them speaking Japanese, but they didn't want to do the Japanese
They
thing
didn't explain
and then
that.
translate it. They just let them speak English.
I don't think so.
You don't think? I
Nope.
think that kind of
Because the Japanese are speaking Japanese to each other in certain scenes. And then when Walker gets there, he starts talking to Daimyo, and it's just him and Daimyo talking. Nobody else is getting into it. And then when April gets there, Daimyo, she's like, hey, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. Like he doesn't know how to speak English all of a sudden. But we just saw you speaking English to Walker 10 minutes ago, and you understood him. So what's the problem
That's
here?
true because I guess the dude does go.
And then when the
in
turtles
foreign time,
come,
yeah, and they're like, oh, he speaks English, like, so yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I would.
okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss something, because sometimes I do, but
No, it's just one of the many plot holes.
Yeah, because the Kenshin guy knew how to speak English when he came.
oh yeah. So like,
They knew
and
English.
Then, yeah, and then like April gets there and they're like, no English.
No English.
No, but
You are Spaniel. That's Japan. It's sorry.
What,
that
what would have
old-
happened if Japan?
Lost in translation.
What
Yoshi's
would have
grandpa,
happened
did you
if
guys, did you
this-
guys know who he was? Yoshi's grandpa? Kung Pao?
Oh yeah,
The guy on the bike?
Oh really?
yeah.
What the fuck?
I looked at that, I was like, I think that's the guy from Kung Pao.
Now think of it
It
this way:
is.
think if the Spaniards would have went to Japan instead of the Americas.
I mean, geographically it doesn't make sense, but that would have been pretty fun.
They would have had to have. Well, there's no way they could have missed it. They would have had to go all the way down around South America to get, South America to get to it. So that'd be a long. Maybe they'd probably be dead, honestly. So I don't think that's it's possible.
Look, it's a boat. Oh, they're all dead.
Oh, they're all dead.
They're all dead.
They're all floating.
Anyway, go ahead.
They're all dust now.
In Japan, an attack on the turtles leads them to Mitsu, the leader of the rebellion against Lord Norinaga. They discover that Mitsu's village is being burned down and go to save it. In the same village, two men release Michelangelo, thinking he's an honor guard. He shows them his face, and the men flee. Michelangelo insists that he's a beautiful princess in disguise, but is quickly distracted by the dropped swords. Walker was the one who burnt the village in hopes of finding the scepter and to continue the war so people would buy his weapons. After being confronted by Michelangelo and several villagers, Walker flees. Michelangelo saves a boy named Yoshi, so the turtles are allowed to stay after Leonardo gives Yoshi CPR. However, the scepter has been lost, so they must make a new one.
Hold up, when he pulled Yoshi out of that place, his feet were on fire. Still.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, hold on, the kid's on fire. You might want to put him
I didn't
out.
notice it. Jeremiah had to rewind it, and he was like, "The kid's on fire." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, I mean, he pulled him out though," and he's like, "No, he's still on fire."
Still on fire.
He was running really, really fast.
It's so funny because like it's one cool thing I do like about this movie, which also kind of sucks at the same time, is that I like that the turtles are in more daylight in this one, because in the past two, they're really dark movies.
There's a reason
Mhm.
for that.
Second one,
Right, I get that because of the costumes and things.
They
like
look
that.
weird. There's something.
They
off.
look well. It's their masks.
Yes, thank you. I thought so.
Yeah,
So,
it's their eyes and their mouths.
I
They're way
wrote-
different.
I think it's the mouths. They remind me of like a Teddy Ruxpin. They're close to how mouths should look when talking, but not quite. It's pretty much the whole face. It's like too mechanical.
And then their suits look more rubbery.
yeah, it's like the
So-
face
It was
is like
shiny.
It's so mechanical.
Yeah. So the
I
one
think
thing
I like their costumes more than this one than I do.
I
the second
do
one.
actually.
I
I like the body costume
Yeah.
because in the old ones you could see a lot of the seams and stuff. That's why they were so darkly lit. But in this
I
one,
like
they're a
the
lot
dark
less.
lighting
They're a
against
lot.
those
Why?
costumes.
They're a lot less. You don't see seams in this one, which is nice. But what I will say I don't like is in the old ones, whenever they would talk, their mouths and their heads were so fluent. But in this one, every time they would talk, their whole head would shake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Like the mechanics in there are
whole-
rattling the whole fucking
whole
helmet
mask
around.
is way too mechanical
Yeah.
for me. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Those 80s toys that you know
Mhm.
parents would buy for their kids, and they're like, "Oh, it's so like cutting edge." But even as a kid, you're like, your mouth's not quite jiving with the words.
Yeah, so they talk and their whole head would shake and rattle as they were talking because the whole head is moving because of how heavy the mechanics
See,
are
and because
inside.
of that, I prefer the originals. I
Not-
prefer the original. I don't care.
Oh no, I
Give
love
me
the mask. I love
give
the
me
mask from the
dark
old ones way
lighting.
more.
Well, I don't care. Just all together. Give me the light. Give me the dark lighting and those costumes. I
Well,
think it fits them better.
The
anyway.
reason why I like
it.
that there's more light in this is because I remember the cartoon, the old cartoon. It
It was
was
bright.
always during daytime and
Yeah.
things like they did some stuff at night and things, but like a lot of it was during the day and stuff. Like the turtles were fighting crime during the day,
Mhm.
so I like that about this one. And it's just I don't know, I like that about it. So the only thing I didn't like is like I said, whenever the mouths moved, their whole fucking head rattled,
I
and I
didn't-
don't like the eyes.
I didn't like the way Splinter looked. I thought his head looked like a box. It wasn't like as round as it was
I
in
didn't
the other
notice
two
Splinter
movies.
as much.
I
But
didn't-
he doesn't have
But
as
it
much
was like-
screen time though
Yeah.
this time.
Well, it bothered me, and because his head like did a weird boxy thing at the top, and it just.
I tell you, I
bothered me.
did notice that they didn't try to get him out much. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
like you know how in the other ones where they'd have him walk sometimes,
Yeah, he was
or they'd
definitely
have
just
him
the top
standing.
half of him. in
It was
this
just
one.
top half of him most of the time.
I don't think they ever show his bottom half in this one.
My favorite
No.
part with him in this one though was when he had his Yoda moment. Do you guys remember that? Like when Raphael starts running his mouth like 5 seconds in the movie, we got to throw a temper tantrum,
Mhm.
and he starts doing that, and all that Splinter does is go "Ugh," and shut the window.
Yeah.
Like, instead of dying, he just shuts the window like, oh, I'm done with you.
All right, good.
Lord Nornaga and Walker were bargaining over the price of weapons. Lord Nornaga mentioned that demons that resembled turtles once tried to end his reign. Immediately, Walker raised his prices. In the village, Michelangelo teaches the people about pizza, but he is so...
There's that damn
But-
piece of like a frisbee smacks that one dude in the back of the head.
But the pizza...
That was one of my
fuck.
favorite parts. Is whenever Donatello reacts, he's like, "It wasn't me. It was him with the frisbee thing." And
Yeah.
But the pizza is so hard that he has to use it as a frisbee instead.
I did like with Michelangelo this time because like you saw him save Yoshi, you saw him do a lot of heroic and very human
Mm-hmm.
heartfelt
Like he's
things
growing
in
up.
this one. And like he's growing up. You never saw that out of him before. He was
Well,
always
Yeah,
the thing
that
about
was the
it
whole
is-
thing is that showing that they're growing.
it's kind of like it's
Though-
Mikey's story.
well, the thing about
know,
that,
in
it's funny
parts
that
of
you
this.
mentioned that because, like in the cartoons and even in the comic books, Mikey is the one turtle who wishes he was a human.
Mm-hmm.
He always wanted to be a human. He always wanted to fit in, and
Mm-hmm.
so he could go out and do the.
Party,
he wanted to be
dude.
normal. He wanted to party with the regular people.
Michelangelo was
Yeah, and there was even an episode of the old
I
cartoon
didn't
where
buy
he was
any
turned
of them.
human, and he was able to go out and be a human for
Mm-hmm.
a day. and that was one of Michelangelo's biggest deals, like in the comic book, the old comic books, and in the cartoon, was that he wanted to be like everybody else.
I liked his arc in this. Like they showed facets of him that I'd never seen before.
And I do like that about this, because I like that they concentrate on one of the turtles in this instead of trying to fit all four of them into it. Like in the first one, I guess you could call it more of Raphael's thing.
Yeah, that was like Raphael's
It was
story.
like a brother thing between Raphael and Leonardo.
A lot,
And then in the second one was kind of Donatello.
Yeah.
Because of all the, like, where'd we come from, all that stuff. And then in this one, they really
contemplating, like, well, I thought it was a bigger thing.
Exactly. And that's what I really like about this one, though, is that Michelangelo is front and center the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's easily the most popular favorite of all the turtles.
I usually gear towards more Donnie, but like in this one, I was finding myself Michelangelo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like usually if you ask a lot of people, common consensus is that Michelangelo is the more popular character.
He's easily liked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
mine's
definitely.
Mikey. I think mine was originally Mikey whenever I first started watching like the original cartoon, because I loved Orange so much, and it turned out he was like the funnest one, and I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think he's part of the reason why I still like the color orange.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought that it was nice to see a different side. You have the other ones, like you said, showcased a little bit, the first two, and you always you almost don't even think about it.
You don't,
you know,
because they do all get their time in the light.
You don't, but it's kind of weird how it comes to Mikey there at the end. You're like, oh, I didn't realize you had any issues to work out. Okay, I'm listening.
And another thing thing I liked about this one too was Raphael's kind of arc. I mean, I wouldn't even call it an arc, really. It's more or less him being more of the teacher rather than the pupil. And
rather than being this whiny little bitch the whole time that everybody's got.
He didn't really throw a tantrum at all in this movie, which is great, because I hate that about his character.
Yeah.
He did it in the very beginning.
Yeah,
and like I said, I only noticed it because Splinter's like, ugh.
Yeah, well, the reason why I hate it so much is because he always takes away from the rest of the turtles.
Yes,
and it pisses me off. That's just why.
Well, that's Bratty Kid for you, right?
Well,
that's what he's doing. Is he's throwing a temper tantrum. He does it in both movies. Mm-hmm. The first one I would argue is way worse,
for sure,
for Raphael. But, like, then you get to the second one, he's still doing it. It's like, dude, grow up. And then it's like you get to this one, you're like, okay, he's going. You can kind of see them all growing a little bit.
And I like that about him in this one, because he's usually, like, a whiny-ass bitch, and this is why he's probably my least favorite turtle. I don't like him for that reason. But what I do like about this one is that he's, like, teaching this kid not to use anger and things like that.
Yes.
He's like, did I say that?
Yes.
And I like that he kind of attaches himself to this little kid, and he's like...
Well, it's almost like he's growing through dealing with this kid, because he sees kid behavior in him, and then, you don't see him acting like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like that about this. And so I actually do like Raphael in this one more than I did the other two. So, like I said, this movie has a lot of things that the other movies didn't have that I like about it. I love everything about Japan, man. Japan is awesome. I love the way it looks. I love the culture. I love the way they dress. I love all of it. I love the samurai stuff. I love swords. Everything about Japan, I love it. So, like, the fact that this one takes place mainly in Japan is awesome. And it's a different change of scenery. Like, you're out of New York. You're in this, like beautiful fucking landscape of Japan, and, like, all the scenery. And it's great. I love it. Like, that's what I love so much about this one.
No, I agree.
So, the more that I talk about it, I think I actually like it more than I think I do.
It's the weakest link. That's all I'm saying.
It is. Story-wise and things like that, yes. But did the movie have great fucking potential? 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
It could have, they could have had a much better movie on their hands had they just changed a few things.
Well, they blocked themselves into these things. Like, they literally wrote themselves into corners and had no way out.
Right.
That's
they didn't have to do anything special. Like, they didn't have to...
It's a kid's movie. Don't give me the physics. Don't tell me... Just touch the scepter.
You know what would have made this movie better? You know what would have made it better? Don't do any mass displacement shit.
Yeah.
Don't do anything... Like, send them back... Like, all right, April touched the scepter. She got transported back to Japan. Shit. What do? Looks like we got to go back to Japan. Take Casey with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All 5 of you go get April. Go back in time. Write out that fucking thief guy. Keep the battle between, the rebels and the Daima. All that stuff. Cool. You got to help the rebels. You got to bring them together and unite them while looking for April. Casey's there as more comic relief. get rid of the other guy. I mean, you have a perfect movie right there.
I don't know.
You got
though,
less
but then
plot holes.
who kidnaps the girl?
You can write around that. You can find some other
I guess. I mean, I think that like if they're going to keep the scepter and all that, that would be fine.
Well, keep that character then, but don't make it the same actor.
Mhm.
Whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's some other guy they know from
Right,
New York. Yeah.
exactly. Something, anything.
The pizza dude. That would
Yeah!
be hilarious.
The pizza guy.
The-
You look like my pizza dude.
No, they just have him like for a small second at the beginning, like delivering a pizza, and they have a short conversation. You're like, "Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Right.
Like how's the kids?" And then they shut the door. Here's your tip. All right, talk to you later. And then they go back and they're like, "Bill."
Yeah.
That'd
You're a
be-
thief?
That'd be funny.
That would be funny. See, I'm adding comedy. See, I don't know.
Bill.
Yeah, I think that
And
if
he
you
tries
keep
pizza
the,
for the first time, like, this is amazing.
if you keep the scepter, which I have no problem with them keeping the scepter, but I think you take away the other scepter. You put like a station or something that's like in the temple that only works for 3 days out of the year or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you can throw some
And they have a
rules at
time
it.
limit in which
Right,
blah, blah, blah.
but they don't have to have you got to have the same people, the same amount of people touch it at the same time with the same weight. You eliminate all that stuff. The only
Right.
criteria is that it only works from midnight on Monday to midnight on Wednesday,
And you see what happened at the end of the movie, too, where they're like, all right, so what do we do about this scepter thing? Because obviously they can't just keep it. Oh,
Right.
it's destroyed. Last time they used it, it's fucking destroyed. Like,
Yeah.
so it's been around for, all these
Thousands of years.
Yeah, thousands of years, and all of a sudden now it's just destroyed because they used it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how stupid.
They broke it. They brought too many people back at
Yeah,
once.
it's worked too many times. Like, I'm overworked. I'm
Yeah.
done.
I'm retiring.
I'm
You
retired.
turtles were it for me. This was weird.
You guys are way too heavy.
Too weird. Shutting off.
It's like a fly effect. Those guys in the past are like slowly turning into turtles.
Do you have any idea what you've done? What do you mean? Have you read the New York Times today? Come here.
Come here.
What did you do, Mikey?
Wasn't me this time, I swear. It was all of us.
All right, go ahead.
All right,
How much is left anyway?
a lot. You just messed up my place. Thank you for that. Okay, anyways. Michelangelo is attracted to Mitsu. He was?
Yeah, that's what I said. What did you do, Mikey?
Yeah, yes, he was. You didn't get that?
No, I didn't get that.
Yeah, he was very weird about it too. Almost aggressive
I
weird.
thought he was
He
just
doesn't
like
know any other
besties
way.
with her.
No, he was like whenever she was walking out after the whole scepter thing. Mitsu, is that true? Like, dude, what are you guys, like boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, what are you doing? Like, you guys have been together for years or something. Like, she's been lying to you this whole time.
I never even thought about it that way.
I did. I'm like, dude, you're
the
awfully
way
aggressive.
You did it was completely accurate to the
Yeah.
movie, and you are 100% spot on.
I mean-
Mitsu, is this true? Like, you're right.
I just thought it was kind of aggressive for a guy who's only known this girl for like 12 hours.
Of course, they do that sort of overacting sometimes in those
I
costumes.
get that, but like,
But, like,
the way he says it.
Yeah,
even.
no, I agree. I'm agreeing with you. It's just funny because, like, I think that's what he was trying to do or trying to go for, and it came off because he was talking to her, and he's got feelings for her. It comes off as that, like,
Possessive?
jealous, not boyfriend.
Yeah, kind of possessive.
You
know
can't
what I mean?
be jealous. You're not my boyfriend.
Yeah, right.
You're underage, you're a teenager.
Yeah, it was just a little weird for me. And then he's like, and then he wanted to stay
I mean,
in
they're not
the
even the
past
same
with her.
species. I'm gonna
And
throw
she's
that
like-
out there.
And it's so funny because he wanted to stay in the past with her. She's like, now hold on a minute.
I know.
My boyfriend's in the future, and he's coming
You
back.
said you'd
How
bring
weird
him
is this
back.
going to be when he comes back and you're still here?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to think I went off and banged a turtle. Like, he leaves for a day or two, and I just start banging turtles. Like, that's not how this works. This ain't some kid's weird fantasy movie. It's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
got awkward
Right.
there.
But he
Those
understands
babies
that
would be
she
very
and
fucked
Kenshin
up.
share a bond. Sure he does. That's why he tried to stay, right? Raphael also
She's
grows
the only one
fond
that
of
understands
Yoshi.
him, Madison.
Yeah. She really doesn't, though, because she pays him no attention. There's
And it's
like
true
no...
love.
There really was no chemistry there
No.
at all. Like,
No, but I'm
I got
saying
nothing
it is
out of
very
that.
teenager of him, right? It's very teenager of him to like
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, but I like
What-
you.
Yeah, like it's very, very
I wanna stay with
first
you
crushes.
forever.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, I'm projecting all of these feelings onto you and pretending like, like misreading things and all that. Like that is very much first crush teenage emotions right there. Right there.
Yep.
With no like training wheels. You know what I mean? It's not like he went to school and has been talking to girls since he could draw with a crayon. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got to learn all this stuff as he goes.
Right.
There ain't nobody down there for him to bounce,
Ideas.
Oh, except
off.
for
It's like
April,
but
Yeah.
it's April.
But April's like a sister. April's gonna
not only that, but she acts like a dude half the time.
That's
so-
true. Yeah.
Especially in this one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I do
She's
love.
so hot in this one.
Oh my
I do
God.
love that she gets so much screen time in this one because easily she's like, this is the best April
100%.
of all the movies.
100%.
Of all the movies, this
Chef's
is the
kiss.
best April because she was good in the second movie, but you didn't see a lot of her. She's just kind of playing the whole I'm a reporter thing. In
Mhm.
this one, she's got attitude and she's got personality and she's I just want to be on vacation
The
and blah blah
attitude
blah.
and personality
Yeah,
that
I'm like
she's
that's
supposed to have.
that's April, man. That's the April I remember from the cartoon and all
Mhm.
that stuff. Like so
She
for
was snarky in
yeah,
this
like this is the
cartoon.
best iteration of April. Like even though she played her in the last movie, she didn't play her like this.
She didn't
Right.
have very much like.
She didn't, but she also didn't have near as much attitude either.
Yeah.
That's what I
Her-
love about her in this
She'd
one.
always go, "Oh, brother."
Yeah, like in this one, like I really like her in this one. She had this is the best April
One of my
right now.
favorite parts was after they like just obliterate that Walkman, and she's like, "Next time, ask me to turn it off."
Yeah. Yeah, she just has so much. I love it whenever she tells him, like, yeah, I've got 4 guys in that thing. Like, she put 4
Yeah,
guys.
I shrunk
I
four
shrunk 4
dudes.
guys, dude. 4 dudes down and stuck them in that thing.
He's like, "Shrink me." Fuck, shrink me. I was like, why are you egging him on though?
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
she's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm a witch." Like, April.
You're
She's
going to
gonna
die.
get burned on the
stupid.
stake.
They're gonna hang
do
you.
you know what feudal Japan was like with women?
Yeah.
And now you're saying
Now,
you're a witch?
what do you think they do with witches?
Tell them you've got 14 babies and you need to get home to them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all boys.
Yes, all of them are boys.
All of them
and they
are-
all want to work for you someday
Yeah.
as soldiers.
They're all motivated, potentially warrior type boys.
Mhm.
Very
so
active.
Let me
Mhm.
go.
Yeah, very active. Their dad was a great warrior, too.
Yeah.
Which one? Yoshi?
That
Ah, Yoshi.
No, you
I
guys
would
are
have said
like-
some off the wall shit like Maximus.
No, I'm thinking of like because like the kid was named Yoshi, right? So I'm like, there's got to be at least one more,
No,
right?
You gotta pull to move a point in one of the random soldiers. Like
That guy.
That guy.
Ted?
he's like,
Ted failed his last PT test.
Since they don't know English in this part, he'd be like, why is she pointing at me?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Why is she pointing at me?
They'd be like,
Is she
this
going to make me
true?"
small next?
And you don't know what he is.
yeah, is it good? Is it good news for you if they're good?
All right, go ahead.
Anyways,
Let's try to speed run through this.
I try. The new scepter is completed, but is broken by Raphael and Michelangelo in an argument about whether or not to stay.
They didn't break it. They dropped it down a fucking well.
Yes, they did. Mitsu informs the village that Lord Naranaga, hey, it's the first time I messed up that name, almost, has guns and will attack the village tomorrow. Yoshi, fearing Raphael's death, gives the turtles the original scepter. They are happy to have it, but angry at Mitsu, whom they believe hid it so they'd fight in the war. Her grandfather, the village leader, defended her by telling them he told Yoshi to hide the scepter and beg them to fight. Wit. Who's Wit?
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, Casey. The man the turtles saved along with April kidnapped. Oh, Wit. The one that was in the past.
Yeah.
He's very witty.
Oh, okay. Wit, the man the turtles saved along with April, kidnapped Mitsu. The turtles saved her and freed all her friends. This leads to a large battle at Lord Noranaga's place. Leonardo defeats Norinaga in a duel in which he cuts his hair and cuts the rope, then traps the bell.
Finish me.
Okay, dude.
Short enough for you?
No, stop.
Like when Donatello hits the bill.
I think that Leonardo was less a leader in this movie than he has ever been in
yeah.
any of the movies.
Yeah.
Like
He
just
definitely had a lot less, like, that he was doing.
yeah, like he was just kind of there for most of the movie. And he's my favorite turtle, and he just was not there. Which of all three of the movies, he gets the least amount of really
Speaking.
anything. You know what I mean? Like he gets no development or anything like that in any of the movies, which kind of disappoints me a little bit because of all the characters, he's my favorite for a lot of reasons. Like he's like the number one son, yes, but he's also the one that carries the most weight because he has to look out for his brothers and be a leader and try to be the wise one and the fucking mature one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot, and he gets no credit throughout any of these movies.
The turtles are surrounded by Walker's men as they are about to fire. Wit disagrees, but Walker throws him in with the turtles and April. Leonardo goads Walker into shooting him and reminds everyone they're demons, but this backfires as Walker uses his cannon instead. As the cannon fires, Leonardo ducks his head and the cannonball hits the bell. Walker retreats and the turtles go after him. Walker
Look,
managed
Don
to...
King.
Huh?
I said, look, Don King.
Who's Donald King?
Don King. He used to manage Mike Tyson back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don King. I think it was Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He had like hair that stuck up like this. It was just like,
That's why they said that when...
because his hair was sticking. I was like, oh, look, Don King.
Oh. Walker managed to grab the scepter in the confusion and was going to use it to his advantage by tossing it off the roof. However, he forgets his birds and runs back to get them. The turtles save the scepter and Wit redeems himself by finishing off Walker. The turtles debate whether to stay in Japan, where they are appreciated but might interfere with history, or return to New York, where they must hide out but can continue with their lives. The turtles ultimately decide to return, but Michelangelo misses the ride. He manages to make it back in time, and the scepter is smashed, making it unusable, ending its power once and for all. In Japan, Norinaga is taken prisoner and brought before Mitsu and Kenshin. He is surprised to see them both together, and more surprised to see his honor guard walk through the corridor half naked and talking incoherently about anachronisms.
I love
Fuck
that
Oh.
you.
the one was still wearing the shorts.
Yeah.
He came back
Oh,
to the
yeah.
time. He was wearing the shorts again.
When he has gone, having spoken no word but clearly shown his submission, Kenshin seizes Mitsu in imitation of a poster he had seen in the turtle's home and kisses her on the lips. Michelangelo perhaps...
Which was so retarded. It was so dumb because I get kissing her when that's fine, but like it like turns dark and like that spotlight comes down on. I'm like, oh, come on, they don't even have electricity.
Right.
Like feudal Japan, there was no electricity.
I want to know why we didn't get to see him in those booty shorts
Right?
as she made his.
Are you disappointed?
Yeah, a little bit. I wanted to see him like walk away hand in hand and just see some cheeks hanging out a little bit. That would have been hilarious, dude.
I bet he did have a banging bod though.
I don't even care if he did or not. That
She's
would-
like, I just want to see that ass.
No, I just think that would have been hilarious.
Okay.
Like par for the course with the movie. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah. No, because he was more of the serious character, so they couldn't do that.
But that's what would have made it even funnier.
That's true.
Alright, Michelangelo, perhaps thinking on the preceding scene, is depressed until Splinter puts the aforementioned lampshade on his head as a joke about Elvis and Hawaii, whereupon they both laugh.
Which makes no fucking sense.
The film ends with
Wasn't even a
another
good joke,
dance. No.
He was just copying what Michelangelo did at the beginning.
The film ends with another dance sequence by the Turtles.
Which was good. I like the end dance sequence to this one, and I like the music too, because it wasn't like no ninja rap or anything like that.
It wasn't like overly done cheesy.
No,
like,
it was just a
obviously
fucking
made,
song that was popular back then, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I was okay with that.
I didn't like the part where they made like Michelangelo didn't make the trip and then he made the trip back like not even a minute or two later. It was like instant. It was like, okay, so what was the point of that?
Yeah, like how did that happen? I was
Well,
gonna
it was
ask
just
the same
more of the
question.
what was the point of that? She just had him come back when they all came back and been
Yeah,
done
they
with it.
added like this flare of drama. For
Yeah,
no
like,
reason.
oh no, he didn't make it.
Psych.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb, but whatever.
I agree.
All
The
right.
CGI when the dude falls.
Did everybody cover everything they needed to cover?
The CGI.
I think
you don't
so.
even see it splash.
No,
You guys
you
good?
just see his body
Good,
just
good.
Yeah,
get
and
smaller
then it
and
just
smaller. Yeah.
disappears.
All right, let's review.
Let's rock out this bitch.
We,
Can't we have that right. It's in the
They do their thing.
Constitution.
We're doing the podcast. Can we mute anyone? Oh no, we shouldn't give you godlike power.
I can. I've got all your mics on control right down
That's
here.
okay. We can.
I'm
share
sorry.
a
What was
mic.
that? What was that?
That's okay. We can share a mic.
Say they can still hear me
Yeah.
through the other mics.
Could you imagine if like one time Madison decided why is it that my mouth's moving but nothing's coming out? Am I muted this whole time?
Why do I sound like I'm clear in the background? All right, so we're gonna go around the table and review Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 because that's the only way you can look it up. Apparently, you can't type in
Yeah, you
TMNT
can't
3.
just come on now.
So, all right, we'll start with Madison. Madison, what did you think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 from 1993?
This movie was alright.
Is all right.
Yeah.
All right.
It I don't remember any of this movie. Maybe a few parts from the beginning of this movie, but I don't think as a kid I actually ever sat down and watched it all the way through. I think I always got bored with it. So, I guess. And you're right, Karen. Something is off about those costumes. I was thinking the same thing the whole time. I'm like,
Yeah. I've known that since I was a kid.
and then like,
It's the spots too.
it is the spots. They look
Yeah.
painted
well,
on.
Yeah.
well,
And the not to mention whenever they're in the sun, you can like see them shine. Not their heads, just their muscles.
Their suits, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
baby oil.
Baby oil.
I guess so.
They gotta be. They
We
gotta
need to
stay.
get back to we need to get back to New York. There's no baby oil in feudal Japan.
They gotta stay moist some way.
Right.
Yes, so. No, this movie was alright. I didn't hate it. I didn't really love it either. But I don't think I had nostalgia with this one like I did the other two, though.
I do.
I don't. So I'm gonna just chop it and say I'll give it a 6.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Because I can watch it. I mean, if you ask me to watch it, I will watch it. So.
So for me, this movie, I do have nostalgia for this movie because I remember when this movie came out. I remember because I didn't get to go watch it in theater, but I was like the biggest Ninja Turtles fan, especially when this movie came out. Like I had all the action figures. I was fucking crazy about them. So when this movie came out, I remember rushing home. My mom got me the VHS. She rented it for me. Went to the video store. He rented it. Got home, and I was so excited to watch it. I sat down in my bedroom because we had a TV in our room whenever I was living with my mom. And I remember watching it and just thinking, like, this isn't near as cool as the other two.
When you watch ninja movies, did you like do the moves? Did you try to
Yeah.
like do what they were doing on
No,
TV?
not with these movies.
No.
Not with these so much, no.
I didn't whenever I was a kid, I do now.
I do, so if I
Only-
have a broomstick...
Only time I would do is when I had the roll from like Christmas wrapping paper.
Yeah, like if
That
I
was
got a
about the only
broomstick or
time.
something like that, I'm twirling that bitch. I'm like spinning around like I'm Donatello or something.
I don't even have to watch a movie to be able to do that. I'm at work and I'm twirling things.
Yeah. So, but this movie, I do have a lot of like. I didn't like it as much, but I don't think I appreciated it as much back then as I do as an adult. Because I do love all the Japan stuff. Like I said, I love all that. I think it's funnier than the other two. I agree with you guys on that. That it's a lot quippier. They've got a lot better one-liners in this one. I like that. I like that Corey Feldman came back, and like I said, I'm glad that even though he was only in like a total of like 5 minutes of the movie, Casey Jones was in it. But also, I really love April O'Neil in this one. This is the best April O'Neil in all of the movies, hands down, all the movies.
She's a baddie.
her attitude, her personality, everything about her in this movie is April O'Neil to me. Also, I will say that I don't like the fact that there's no main real villain other than Walker, and Walker's kind of he's not a great villain in my opinion. He's not near as like intimidating as like the Shredder or any of the actual like villains from the Turtles Rogues Gallery, like none of them. But like I said, even though there's not a lot of fighting in this, the comedy makes up for it. I don't have to ding it for the mask thing because they do bother the shit out of me. They bothered me since I was a kid. I always said that they don't look like they did in the past two. But it's still not a bad movie, and I would still watch it again. And talking about it, I actually fell more in love with it just talking about it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give her a 7. So.
You know, it would have been better if they would have made like one of Shredder's ancestors be part of the rebellion.
And he was like a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they seen like a guy that looked just like Shredder.
Yeah.
See, I thought the same thing. That would have been cool for them to connect them like that.
They should have made that the knives guy, the guy that's good with metal. Sorry.
No, because he was on the good guy side.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, though.
Oh,
Well,
you mean like I got
part
you.
of the rebellion,
Yeah.
and then like they noticed that in the
Mhm.
middle, like, man, should we kill him?
We could end
kill
it.
him?
No, what would be
PG-13.
no? It would be even better if they instead of using the F-bomb, that was where the PG-13 part came out because one of them was like, "Should we kill him?" You know,
You would just like it'd be like
Or
going
like-
back in time and killing Hitler's. Like
I could just
baby
imagine
Hitler.
it in Donatello and Corey Feldman's voice. We could end it all right now.
Yeah.
Make it so much easier for ourselves in the future.
We could just take care of all of this right now.
Oh god.
All right, Karen, what did you think?
I like you as we talked about it, liked it more than when I finished the movie.
Makes you think.
Well, my biggest problem, even now, is that something fell off for me at some point. They stopped being so funny. And I understand that they got to bring a little bit of seriousness to it. But I felt like it could have kept some of that lightheartedness. So it doesn't have to all the way shut down, I guess is what I'm saying. And it felt like you hit a brick wall at a certain point and you had just a little bit of humor thrown in instead of it being mostly humor. I mean, you can be serious without just shutting it all off, you know?
Yeah.
They wanted to show their growth.
They did, though. They did in wonderful ways, even while they were being funny. That's the problem that I have, is that they didn't have to stop being funny, you know, to the point where it was only every so often. And again, there's not. I mean, the front end of the movie, clear and down, was hilarious, and I could forgive every single thing, every single plot line problem, because I was having fun. You know what I mean? Like, those turtles were cracking me up. I liked the plot so far. It was fun. Okay, I can let the rest of the stuff go, but then it just kind of starts to de-evolve. And I was like, ugh, okay. And I think that those plot holes started to grate on me a little bit more because of that, you know? But, you know, as we talked through it, I realized some of the things that I liked so much were the things we were all discussing. And I'm like, you know what? There was a lot more to that than I was really giving it credit for. So initially, I was probably going to go somewhere around a 4, but I think I'm gonna land with you, and it's a 6.
That's what I was gonna give it before we talked about it too.
All right, you're up.
It's amazing how you can talk about something like, damn, I think I do like this
Yeah,
movie.
like I was kind of being a little bit judgmental. I think I was
Yeah.
in my head a little bit about how the ending was for me. It wasn't, you know, awful, but it just kind of fell off at a certain point for me.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
it's kind of wild because like the movie itself, like it's weird whenever you start talking about the movie because you're like, holy shit, I'm not actually saying anything bad about the movie. So I don't think this movie's as bad as I think it is.
Right,
So,
actually,
you know?
yes. I mean, I had problems with the plot lines and stuff, but I would blame that more on the creative minds because they kept writing themselves into corners.
Right.
That's on them. That has nothing to do with any of the other, you know, production value, the actors, things like that. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 6.
Okay.
It's actually higher than I thought you guys would go.
So you guys, I mean, I'm kind of going the opposite direction. What you guys are saying, you know how you said.
Now he hates it. We all talked him out of it.
Yeah. I was like, shit, you guys like it. I gotta hate it.
You guys were all, you know, talking about, you know, bring up good points, and I was going to give it a higher score, but, so I mean, what you guys brought up, and you guys pretty much nailed everything. That's the CGI killed me at the end.
Oh, the guy falling off.
Yeah, that
I
killed
said
it.
that too. I watched. I was like, "Oh, that's some bad
forgot
editing right
all
there."
about that.
Yeah,
Like,
actually,
before you
now that
even
you
hit
brought
the
that up, I
water.
think I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna give it a 5.
That's
I'm
what
just kidding. I'm kidding.
The CGI killed it for me on that. But
So
other
I
than
told
that,
Crystal was watching with me. I was like, "God, that's some bad special effects right there."
yeah. Other than that, I really, I liked all the comedic points in this. I didn't really notice anything bad with their costumes. I guess I wasn't looking
that hard at it.
that
yeah.
hard
They're
at
pretty seamless. I mean, they really
Yeah.
are. Like because if you notice in the past ones, like the necks and stuff like that, they look all crinkly, and
I think the
You
problem
know-
I had is that they looked plastic. The bodies.
they did look plasticky, like
plastic.
very like shiny
So-
rubber.
Well,
Yes.
when Leonardo goes into a shell when he gets shot out. The only thing that popped in my
I forgot
mind
about that.
was Master of Disguise.
Oh God.
Turtle.
Except that came first. You
Yes,
what
I know,
mean?
but I think that's what popped in my
Oh,
mind.
Yeah, but when he does, he's like, "Hoo, I love being a turtle."
Yeah.
I love that so much. I remember repeating that as a kid all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to come at it with 7.5 for me.
That's fair.
I was gonna give it an 8.5.
So that's a 6.6.
That's good. I
Yeah.
think it's good.
Oh, I do too.
6.66.
People are gonna
So
hate
I mean,
this
they are
video.
demons apparently. So
Well,
In
it's
the movie.
6.25.
I'm gonna go with.
6.625 if we're being
Wait, who is Rotten Tomatoes?
me.
53.
I think that's being generous.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I don't
critics are
think
probably.
if I remember correctly, I don't think they cared much for this movie.
Yeah, critics
Hey,
are probably.
listen,
I'm gonna
we
say
know I'm bad at Rotten
32.
Tomatoes, so, like,
Oh, what'd
let
you
me
say?
have this.
32.
I'm gonna go 20.
Wow, you're real close. It's 19.
19.
19.
Dang, I am bad
Yeah.
at this game.
See,
I've
I
not
knew
gotten
that
better
like
either.
back in the day and shit. That's why they didn't make any more because this movie failed so miserably.
Yeah. So audience, I'm going to give it a 48.
That might be about right, honestly.
42.
42.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna go 55.
Madison has it. It's 33.
33.
I was gonna say 32.
I know that this is the least liked of all of them, but I didn't know how unliked it was. So
Yeah.
Critics' consensus, it's a case of one sequel too many for the Heroes in a Half Shell, with a tired time travel plot gimmick failing to save the franchise from rapidly diminishing returns.
say tired time travel gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck your own face!
You had Back to the Future and things like that before that, but still, I wouldn't say it's tiring.
Yeah. So, 1 star, no name. The third and final installment of the 90s trilogy goes way overboard in ridiculousness to the point where it isn't fun.
They're fucking walking, talking Ninja Turtles, man.
What is not to like?
What the fuck? What do you mean ridiculous? It's already ridiculous. The concept is
I had a
ridiculous.
lot of fun.
Yeah, what are you talking
I had
about?
a lot of fun with listening to their quips and stuff. That was pretty funny.
Jesus.
Quamixi, 1/2 star, no comment. I was crying the whole way, though I'm sorry, but no, just no.
You were crying?
Crying.
Are you okay? Did someone break up with you? Did your grandma die? Like, what's
Show
wrong?
us on the turtle where the turtles touched you.
Right, right.
Look at the turtle just pops on the screen. She's woo! Starts crying, bawling.
Drama!
You're just like that one chick that's afraid of minions.
I was always scared of Teletubbies.
Well, everybody's
They
scared
freak
of
me the fuck
Teletubbies.
out. Those things
They
are
are
weird.
creepy.
They
Those
are.
things are weird. And those Ubas they used to buy they're like they look like pear shaped and
Oh.
they're fucking weird.
You just imagine taking him to like an antique store.
Yeah. Same as the what are those things that like look like caterpillar things or whatever that
Glowworms?
glowworms. Yeah, I don't like those.
I like those. I bought one for Jack because I was like reminiscent. I'm like, oh.
No, not a glowworm. It's like it looked like a baby, but it was like in the shape of like a I don't know what the fuck they were called.
Oh,
Yeah, it had a baby face.
Okay, then that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and
those
it
things are
glowed.
weird.
And
Yeah.
what about the Cabbage Patch
Those
Kids?
things are
Or
weird,
the talking Elmos, dude. I swear to
Oh, those
God,
don't
every
bother me.
single one of
No,
those were
those are a proven
cursed.
fact that they're demonically possessed.
Oh, okay.
Every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Okay.
That's why I like
Just
them so
making
much.
That's a
sure.
proven fact.
We had one in Mississippi. I don't remember what happened.
Those things,
to it,
whenever
but I
they
did
whenever
not
they first
like
came
it.
out, you remember that shit? People went
crazy.
fucking nuts for those things.
You ever
You
see-
could not find one.
You ever see somebody take like the face off of it, and you just see the animatronic
The Elmo?
on the
That's
Elmo?
nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude, Elmo was Jack's favorite, like, thing when he was little. But the funniest thing about that, he'd run around the house and be like, Melmo, Melmo, all day long.
Elmo.
But, like, the funniest thing was I had this really cute Elmo outfit that I'd gotten for him. And every time you put it on, he'd scream.
What?
Bloody murder.
Why? He was like scared of it?
I don't know. It was before he could talk. And then when he could talk, and he's like, Melmo, I love Melmo. And I'm like, motherfucker.
You didn't like him before.
Adrian B, 1 star. It was pretty bad. The story was not god-awful. The ancient Japan story was not that bad, but it looks poorly made.
I disagree. I thought the sets and everything looked good.
The jokes were so funny, I forgot to laugh. It's a shitty movie and definitely the worst Ninja Turtles movie by far. I can't even imagine how disappointed the Ninja Turtle fans were back in '93.
They weren't.
And say, I mean,
As a kid, you probably weren't. You know what I mean?
I
Like
really
you're not
wasn't
gonna.
that disappointed.
No,
No.
I mean you might have walked away going, "This is missing something that the other ones had."
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah.
But as a kid, you don't know what that is.
Yeah, right.
Half star Teenage Mutant Ninjago Turtles 3 is a bunch of diarrhea shit and is totally the worst ninja. The every time they spell ninja, it's with a G. But I can't say it the way that it should.
Because it sounds racist as fuck.
Right. So I'm gonna go with ninja, but every time I'm saying ninja, it's spelled
Don't make a
Ninga.
Don't make a review on a movie if you can't spell the title.
Exactly.
The worst Ninja Turtles movie. It trips me up, man.
Don't make a mistake here soon.
First of all, the turtles.
Maybe you just shouldn't read that review.
And Splinter look horrible. And Casey Jones has the worst roll, spelled like a dinner roll. And the villains are stupid. It's the worst movie I've ever seen by far.
Stupid. Coming from the guy who just spelled roll, R-O-L-L.
And Ninja Raw.
That could have been
A few times. Well, the first time it was Ninjago, but it's still with 2 G's instead of just 1.
I mean, autocorrect. When was this?
2022.
Yeah, autocorrect. Why isn't his
Because they also like to lube degenerates. Do you ever see that?
Maybe he wrote it on the computer.
even computers have autocorrect?
Mine doesn't, not unless I'm using Grammarly or Google Docs.
See, I don't have autocorrect either. It might
Comes
put a
up with
little
a little
line under it that
squiggly
says,
line.
hey, this is
Recheck
spelled
it.
wrong. That guy's like, nah, I don't care. I'm
It's
typing.
not spelled wrong.
I
right.
make the rules around here.
Yeah.
It's like,
And that's
I'm
how
right.
it's spelled.
Computer's wrong. That's not how you spell it.
And the best part is that I imagine them in a room alone.
Yeah.
But they're still like, it's wrong.
It's wrong. I'm
I am
right.
still
Computer's wrong.
This is how it's spelled.
It's dark, and
Like talking to nobody.
got his Ninja Turtle onesie on with the hood up. It's wrong.
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 You
Wrong.
gotta do the little laugh to yourself. Karen, you gotta do the little laugh to yourself. Wrong.
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 That's just the way you guys did it in the beginning. You should. It's wrong. That.
Yeah, I imagine them in like in a room by themselves.
Ask you, like,
Computer's
really
wrong, I'm
quick.
right.
Exactly that, but in a room by themselves. Like looking around like they are talking to
Like they're talking to
somebody.
somebody. Somebody's behind him.
Karen, Eric,
It seems like
that
something Jim Carrey
escalated
would
so
do while he's doing
fast.
typing something on a computer, just like that.
Yeah. Wrong.
Wrong.
I'm right.
Oh my god.
Mom, call the maintenance guy. Computer's acting up again.
Computer's fucked up. It's wrong. Get tech in here.
Could you imagine being IT and
IT,
get called in?
did you turn it off and turn it on again?
But then you go up there.
We're
and
not
you gotta
talking about
fix
the
it
computer,
and
we're
find
talking
out what
about
the
your brain.
problem is. Oh,
What we're trying to say, what's his name?
he didn't put
No
a name
name.
on
Okay,
his.
what we're trying to say, no name, is you're a fucking moron.
Yeah. So his name is Moron. I mean, we
You
can
imagine the
just call it
IT
what
guy
it
just
is.
over his shoulder, like, you want me to fix that?
I
And he
think
types the right word. Fixed.
I think it's ridiculous that you're going to put a review out there, especially a negative one, and not put your name on it. Like, you can't stand behind your own words.
They watch
Right.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. They know what happens to those guys.
Good point. Good point.
They know what happens to those guys.
Oh God.
Okay, half a
Cock-knocker.
star. Okay, I was a fan of the first movie, and embarrassingly enough, I was sort of a fan of the second one. But this one, okay, first off, there's no fluid
Embarrassingly
movement to the
enough.
turtles at all. They look about as mechanically enhanced as those crappy singing robots they used to have at your local Chuck E. Cheese. I don't disagree. In several shots, you can actually see where the turtle mask ends and the bodysuit begins,
Wow.
thereby magically creating the illusion that this guy is in a turtle costume.
That's been in every one of them.
The Splinter costume / puppet / whatever is so bad. In the first movie, he was nuanced and realistic, but I guess that's why the folks at Jim Henson's Creature Shop make so much. Apparently, New Line couldn't afford them anymore, so this plot is so ridiculous. The writers send the turtles back in time to ancient Japan, a place where they don't have any villains from the comics or the cartoon. Some Japanese guys switch places with them. In the present, to be babysat by Casey Jones. In the fish out of water, hilarity ensues. Ha 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 ha, kill me.
Ha 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 ha.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong. I'm right.
1.5 stars. By this point, you guys this is why I chose this one. By this point, the Burnin' Medallion of Badness is my only option.
What?
You need to get a wrong bump.
Wrong.
It may be rotten with 23% on the tomato meter, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 should have gone direct to video. And despite the film's best efforts, it's a case of one sequel too many for the heroes in a half shell. With a tired I think they stole from this guy's... Yeah, because it says, with a tired time travel plot gimmick failing to save the franchise from a rapidly diminishing returns.
Are they the same person?
This
Or
guy doesn't have a name.
Maybe they were both in the same room
wait.
together.
Since you didn't put your name on it, they stole your shit, dude, and you can't claim shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe you should put your name
Now
on
you're both
things.
wrong. I'm right.
Wrong.
Wrong.
1-star childish mess that does not even feel like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anymore. Half a star. This movie is a disgrace to the Turtles' name. The quality is horrible. It does not cater to anyone. 3 exclamation points. It's
Holy
inconsistent
nuts.
and
I
just.
felt that.
I'm speaking it in the tone in which it's written. Okay.
Okay.
Here, this movie is a disgrace to the Turtles' name. The quality is horrible and does not cater to anyone.
You gotta do the arson voice.
It's how do you do an arson voice?
Ah!
I
I'm on fire?
I don't
What?
know if I can do it. Hold on. It's a...
Okay,
I'm waiting.
It's so bad.
hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
hold on. Guys. Wait, give me something from that so I can say
Are you talking about like somebody who's been in a fire? Their voice is raspy.
No, it was something that went around on TikTok a few years ago whenever people were transitioning over. People would do that thing where they'd be like, guys, I don't know if I can handle this right now.
You're talking about like TikTok and stuff? People are doing it on TikTok?
Yeah. It was so bad, but it was so funny to watch.
Those people get on my nerves.
Ugh, it was great.
It's inconsistent and just not at all an entertaining film. Also, it has the worst line in film history. I'm a turtle and I can't get up. Dude, that was comedy gold.
Yeah, you can't.
fuck ever, dude. That was
fuck
great.
outta here.
Wasn't
That
that,
was
from
not-
the ad? I help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of the best lines for like one of the most memorable lines from the movie is that line.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, help! I'm a turtle and I've fallen. I can't get up because
Turtles can't get
Can't
up when
get
they're on their
up.
back.
Yeah, they fall on their backs. They're stuck there. Like it's double funny. It works both ways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So go suck a dick.
That was the last one for Rotten Tomatoes.
All right, let's move on.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
You again.
That's still me.
Take it away.
Take it away, Karen. Sorry.
Producers invited Corey Feldman to reprise his role from the first film as Donatello. The filmmakers told Corey they felt bad about not casting him for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. However, when Corey asked for more money than the $1,500 he was paid on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, Corey was told, "Yeah, but you were in rehab." So Corey was denied the raise and again paid only $1,500.
What the fuck?
Right? Right?
For the third one?
And he took the job.
I'd have been like, no, fuck you. This is why I'm not even going to go there.
I understand.
Corey always get fucked on a lot of shit.
In more ways than one.
Oh, I knew somebody was going to go there. I just didn't want to hear it.
Sorry, Corey.
Who did you think?
Karen's
was
like, oh
gonna
no.
You're right.
That was pretty dirty. I take that back. That's fucked up.
I was expecting him to say it earlier, but he didn't.
I wanted
was
to,
like,
but I'm
"Alright,
like,
we're in
nope,
the
not
clear."
going to go there.
He
Not
said,
gonna go
"Not
there."
today, Satan," and then just went, "Maybe, Satan."
Well, maybe.
Oh, okay. You
Maybe.
talked me into
What
it.
was that line you want me to
Yeah.
Oh,
say again?
jeez. Okay.
All right. You
Stop.
talked me into it.
What? Quit whispering sweet nothings in my ear. I'll
Yeah.
do it, okay?
No, Satan, you're wrong, and I'm right.
Starting in this film, All Effects Company took over and worked on the animatronic effects for the Turtles and Splinter costumes. Jim Henson's Creature Shop was the company who worked on the mutant creatures in the previous two films. This is the only live-action Turtles movie where a theme song was not specifically written for it. Often erroneously thought to be subtitled Turtles in Time, as we all thought it was.
Uh-huh.
In actuality, it has no subtitle. This confusion is likely due to the fact that in the early 90s, not long before this movie was a popular video game released in arcades and later on home consoles titled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, as we also were talking about. Some of this
I actually
film's-
felt like an idiot for that. Because I love the game and the movies, and I was like, man, what kind of fucking fan am I? You know?
I'm off the hook, though.
Yeah. Karen's like, I didn't like it that much, so it doesn't matter to me.
No, I like the Teenage Mutant
No, I'm
Ninja
saying, like,
Turtles
you weren't as
fine.
huge a fan as we were.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
not as huge a fan. Some of this film's later DVD cases actually have the incorrect title on its cover, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time. So I wonder if we actually all got the idea from that. Like, how many of us had the VHS, you know, with the wrong title on it? And I wonder how much they're worth today.
That's a good fucking question. I don't think they'd be worth that much, but I'm sure they're worth more than what they would
The right
typically,
one is.
that typically would be. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So, especially if it's still in the package.
right.
Now, the
Anything
likelihood
Ninja
of that
Turtles.
is
Probably like
slim to none.
$100.
Pretty much
bucks.
zero.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
All I
okay.
got. There was not much.
All right.
What's in the box? What's in the
What's in the fucking box, Karen? Lots of shit.
Comedy. Surf Ninjas.
This was a comedy. Surf Ninjas. That's not even in the box.
Okay, so I just say it.
Ace Ventura.
That's two.
Which one?
Number 2.
Yeah.
Part
when,
two?
when nature calls.
Oh,
When
my favorite
Nature
one.
Calls.
I haven't seen this fucking movie in years.
I don't know if I've
It's-
ever
it's
seen
my
the
favorite.
second one.
The second was my
Honestly,
favorite.
it might be. Might be better than the first one.
It is.
Wait,
in
which
my
one
opinion,
is the one
it
where
is.
he shows up to the, I think, asylum? Was it asylum he showed up to?
No, that's the
Where
first
he was
one.
in the tutu?
That's the first one.
Is
Oh,
that
yeah, that's the first one.
Did we watch? Oh yeah, we watched it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
watched the first
Yeah,
one.
we watched the
Yeah.
first one.
When Nature Calls, Ace Ventura. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I don't think I've ever seen the second one.
I honestly thought it was going to be a
Oh,
long
you
time
are
before I
in
pulled this
for
one.
a treat.
Is it better than
Yeah.
the first one?
I don't know if I'd say better.
Way.
But it's equal at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only animal that Ace Ventura cannot stand is a bat.
Oh, of course.
Can
it's
you
not.
blame him?
Yeah. So
The best.
Get it
part
off
that
of me!
amulet,
Get it off me!
Right? He's like,
That's
die!
Oh,
It's
get
a
away!
good
Get
movie.
away!
It is an entertaining ass fucking
It
movie.
touched.
It touched me like, and then he gets the thing in the cage. He's like,
I do remember seeing that clip somewhere.
yeah, it's funny. All right,
My favorite part is the shadow puppets.
yeah, that's just fucking hilarious. All right, we'll get there.
You're gonna laugh at that.
We'll get there.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
laugh at the whole movie. I
If
love
you
Ace
haven't seen
Ventura.
Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, go watch it. It's a fucking banger.
Like a glove.
At least from what I remember. Take that with a grain of salt. Oh
Shee, shee,
yeah,
baby, shee, shee, baby, we love you.
I fucking love that shit. dude. I love
Shut
that he's running
up.
from car to car, looking in, and he climbs up the looks inside. All right.
Fucking rhinoceros.
The elephant. He trains the elephant.
Oh yeah,
Sit,
where he comes
Bubba.
out of the rhinoceros.
Yeah, the rhinoceros.
This is a lovely room of death.
All right, next week we're gonna watch Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, which is the second one. So go watch
3
that.
is too much.
Go watch it. Already quoting it. We haven't even seen it yet. Go watch it. Come back here next week, and we're gonna talk about it. So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.